welcome to Group News number 8. Today we have a very hot topic. Do food additives cause cancer? Stay tuned. Welcome back to Group News Channel 8. Today we are talking about do food additives cause cancer? So what are food additives first of all? According to the Food and Drug Administration, or commonly known as the FDA, any substance with the intended use of which results or may reasonably be expected to result directly or indirectly in its becoming a component or otherwise affecting the characteristics of any food is a food additive. So food additives are those that are added to a food for a specific purpose in that food, for example, zinc and gum, which is found in salads and in chocolates, and most of the direct food additives are found in the posterior part of the food item. Indirect food additives are those that become part of the food in trace amounts due to its packaging, storage, or other handling, such as cereal. So what types of food additives are there? These are some types of food additives: preservatives, sweeteners, color additives, flavors and spices, flavor enhancers, fat replacers, and nutrients. The first column, it is what they do. Second, examples of uses. And third, names found on product labels. Some other food additives are as follows: emulsifiers, stabilizers and thickeners, binders, texturizers, pH control agents, acidulants, leavening agents, anti-caking agents, humectants, yeast nutrients, dough strengtheners and conditioners, firming agents, enzyme preparations, and gases. Personal/cultural beliefs. Why does the general public fear additives? Number 1. People do not know how to read or understand food labels. According to Globus, author of Pros and Cons of Food Additives, he mentioned a gentleman who could not read the food label in his article. Ben poured himself a bowl of cereal, picked up the box, and started reading down the list of ingredients. Geez, he said to himself between mouthfuls, I can't even pronounce half these things. I thought this stuff was made from corn, not chemicals. Number 2, bad taste / no food additives. People who say they do not like chemicals in their food had better get used to it, says Fergus Clydesdale, PhD professor and head of the Department of Food Science at the University of Massachusetts. Every food is made up of thousands of chemicals. More than 90% of food additives come from compounds that were originally found in nature. The tart or tangy taste of soft drinks, for example, is produced by adding acids from lemons, limes, and apples. Number 3, false information from consumer groups. According to Globus, consumer groups warn that many additives have not been tested well enough to be sure they are safe. Others argue that certain additives are unnecessary and should not be eaten at all. Now, how do companies benefit? A commonly held belief is that all or some food additives are extremely harmful, cause cancer, and should be avoided. Many health food companies benefit from propagating this myth and assuring the public that their foods are free from artificial additives and preservatives, such as the picture that is going to be coming up next, which is a Banana Delight baby food can from Heinz. And on it says no artificial colors or flavors or preservatives, but if it's in a can, it must have some kind of food additive, and that would be preservatives in order to preserve the color or the flavor. And as we know, Heinz, they use a lot of preservatives in their ketchup. So what should consumers really be worried about? Getting good nutrition overall. People should not worry about whether or not their soda contains aspartame, says Keith Ayob, a spokesperson for the American Dietetic Association. What they really need to be concerned about is whether diet sodas are replacing other drinks such as milk that you need for building strong bones. When did the fear of food additives really emerge? The initial fear of food additives being linked to cancer rose from premature studies with animals. Scientists have contemplated on the relationship between food additives and cancer after early studies suggested that a relationship existed between artificial sweeteners and bladder cancer in studies with animals. The National Cancer Institute has stated that although a relationship may exist between artificial sweeteners and the animals that were used in some studies, the same cannot be said for the studies that included human beings. To support this, the American Cancer Society has wrote, some animal studies have suggested that the use of non-nutritive sweeteners may be linked with an increased risk of a couple of cancers. Studies in humans show no increased risk of cancer. According to Cancer Council Western Australia, multiple studies were conducted on various food additives such as monosodium glutamate and sodium benzoate. The results of the food additives were said to be inconclusive. Cancer Council Western Australia argues that any adverse reactions that people may have had to food additives only affect a small percentage of the population. However, it also states that the theory of food additives cause cancer is not correct. According to multiple sources that were used for this project, the only results that showed a relationship between cancer and food additives were found only in animals, not in human subjects. According to Dr. John Baden and Robert Ethier in the Foundation of Free Economics in the Environment, in contrast to what is mainly believed, that more than 1 to 3% of cancer cases is attributed by man-made food additives. The majority of causes of cancer are due to genetics and lifestyle choices, such as smoking, alcohol consumption, or fatty foods. If additives are replaced, then the new substances will actually affect the environment. The environment may also suffer as more harmful substances are used. In Wisconsin, for example, farmers would likely switch to copper or tin-based compounds to protect the potato crops from blight. Ultimately, this practice would poison their soils with the accumulation of heavy metals. Banning certain additives because of small risks of cancer might actually cause more harm. For instance, by banning pesticides, we may increase other risks, shifting dangers elsewhere, but we cannot eliminate all risks, only choose intelligently among them. This requires a careful analysis of relative risk, not legislation where emotions trump science. So, how can you say food additives cause cancer when there is little research and studies applicable to human subjects? And with this question, I leave you all today. Thank you so much for watching Group News number 8.